however you say stuff, just your first and last name and what you're running for.
Favian Valencia, Favian, and Valencia is Valencia. And I'm running for Congress for Washington's 4th District.
Absolutely. So obviously, to kind of start this off of where you are here running for the 4th District, there is 11 candidates who are running for this. Can you just talk about just sort of what made you want to join this really heavily contested race?
Yeah. So I've been rooting for Trump ever since we elected him. And the reason is because I was excited and hoping that he would do what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to reduce inflation the first day that he got into office. He said he was going to put America first and keep us out of wars. He was going to be the president of peace. Uh, he was going to hold our government accountable. He talked about releasing the Epstein files, and I'm very disappointed that he hasn't done any of this. I'm still hoping that he does, but it's not looking very good. Uh, I looked around at the candidates that are running. There's 11 of us now, so I was looking at the candidates that I was going to have to vote for, and I couldn't align with any of them. And so I decided, I can't just stand by and watch anymore. And I feel that I'm qualified and I have some good ideas. I've been talking to people and I think I can make a difference.
As mentioned, there's 11 people running. It's one of the more heavily contested congressional races here in Washington. What makes you out of the 11 the best candidate for people to choose?
So I think the fact that I'm an independent makes me the best candidate. And the reason I say that is because as an independent, I'll actually be able to focus on our constituents' needs right here in the district. I've been very disappointed with the blue versus red, the tribalism that comes along with that. I think that's really not serving us because the politicians that we have right now, the system we have right now, incentivizes uh, blaming each other and doing just enough to get reelected, you know, getting their talking points from national political bosses in DC, and just doing enough to blame the other person, the other person, um, and as an independent, I'll have a lot of leverage, and I'll be able to actually focus on the needs of the people right here in our district. Um, I'm also very versed in how our government works. I've been a civil rights attorney for the last 15 years. So I've represented people at every level of state and federal courts. I'm also a business owner. 3 years ago, I started Ama Cafe in Yakima. It's a mom and pop shop. Literally, it's me and my mom and my sisters that are the owners. And so I understand that the needs of the business community, the small business. I understand the struggles that we go through, and I'm connected to people. And I'm also a very good listener. I'm very good at taking critique, uh, and I feel I can bring our needs, to the forefront and bring these issues up. Actually talk about it, find solutions that actually work for us right here in our district.
Obviously, one of those issues, as you're well aware, the 4th District is highly known for its agricultural industry. Up and down from Okanagan down to Tri-Cities, all the way to Yakima, farming is a big aspect of our community. Can you just talk about, if you were elected, how would you help support the farming community as well as the agricultural industry in general?
So the agriculture community is close to my heart. I actually grew up working the fields. So my parents are migrant Mexican farm working family. It's a traditional Catholic family, and I literally my jobs in the summer were picking apples, cherries, pears, doing the thinning, and working the orchards. I have a family that still work the orchards, and so I'm very aware of the needs of farmers. I've been visiting farmers, talking to farmers, talking about the fact that this is a 4th year that we're in a drought. So water is one of the things that we need to really focus on. I believe we have to give credit where credit is due. I believe that Dan Newhouse, our current representative, has done a good job. I believe there's more that we can do, especially now that we're in 4 years now into the drought. But I would carry some of his work that he's done, and I would actually have some ideas on how to improve it even more.
Do you care to expand into some of those ideas, how you would do that?
Yeah. So, as far as our reservoirs and our actual water irrigation systems, the focus has been on maintenance and just making sure it's not leaking. I think we can actually revamp it and actually make it actually plan for the future even more. Have more reserves. Work on our reservoirs, and find ways to actually prepare for the things that we're going through right now, and then engaging the farmers, the people um, that are actually needing this water, the people that are being told that they have to, only irrigate, a few days out of the week. But we need to engage them, try to find solutions, uh, find technologies, that can help us use our water better. Just find ways. I think it's one of my slogans is better together. And what I mean by that is that I want to talk to Republicans, Democrats, liberals, libertarians. I think we need to involve the farmers, the environmentalists. We need to involve everyone to figure out, find solutions that actually work.
Going back to what you previously said about, using our water, responsibly and appropriately, one of the growing discussions here in the Warp District is the growing discussions on AI data centers and just AI infrastructure in general. As you're probably aware, there's 3 facilities just in our district that have been proposed in the last year, one in Wallula Gap, one near P&L in Richland, and another one in Westwood Team. These facilities have notoriously been reported that they use a lot of water. As someone, if you were to represent this region, what is your thoughts on just the growth of AI infrastructure? And would you be someone who is supportive of it or pushes back on it?
So that's a huge topic right now, and I believe we need to again bring everyone together and find solutions. I believe that AI is actually one of the technologies that we're going to rely on as a country. That's one of the things that's going to keep us at the cutting edge. So we do need to stay ahead. It, globally. That I really believe AI is a good thing. At the same time, our families and our water and our drinking water, our water sources, that comes first. So we need to bring people together. One example that I've been studying, and I've actually been reaching out to some of the folks in Quincy, Washington. As you know, we've had data centers there since 2009. We first proposed them and started planning them in 2006. Since 2009, that's a really good example to look at. There's been some good things that came out of that. I know that the property taxes for the people in that county or in that area, property taxes for the homeowners actually went down, and they were able to build out brand new high school, a lot of infrastructure that was actually built. Some people call it the Quincy miracle. There are, that it wasn't perfect. I think there's a lot we can learn from that. There are still a lot of critiques as far as what it's done. It did increase by about 10% the prices of electricity, so those are the exact same things that we need to keep in mind as we look to build the AI infrastructure here in our county. So in our district. So we do want to participate and actually be leaders when it comes to technology and actually servicing our needs. As a country and as a district. But again, we want to make sure that we do it responsibly. We engage everyone from the very beginning. The people that are close to the land where this is going to be built. The people that the business owners that are going to invest and risk their capital into it. I think we need to engage everyone and make sure it works for everyone and make sure it improves our lives here in our district, and it helps us contribute across the country.
One of the growing issues in our region here, given that we're a rural district, is obviously healthcare is a problem nationwide, but specifically here in our district, the rural healthcare. There's been obviously with some cuts and whatnot in the federal government, some rural healthcare places across the nation have been really impacted, including in our region. as an elected official, what would you do to try and help out in, mitigate that issue or help improve our rural healthcare system that we have here?
Yeah. So as one of the most powerful and wealthy countries in the world, I believe that we need to take care of our people first. I will work towards universal healthcare, a single payer system. In the short term, that's an uphill challenge. I don't think that's a doable within the next couple cycles of the term. But in the short term, there are a lot of solutions that we can do, a lot of things that we can do to make up for what some of these cuts have done, especially to Medicaid and Medicare. Some of the things that are coming up, down a few months from now in December, the work requirements and some of those things, I believe, actually create more bureaucracy, and that's what we don't want. We also need to find ways to help the people, provide some relief. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be losing out on healthcare. There's a lot of cuts that are coming up. Um, our hospitals are going to be hit hardest is because we're a rural district. So we need to do everything we can to stop to make up for that, to find ways to extend some of these credits and find ways to make up for the cuts that are coming for Medicare, Medicaid.
Definitely. Another topic I think of that's a discussion, this is normally has bounced back over the years depending on who is in office. And you touched a little bit when we were on the AR discussion about electricity. The discussion revolving the preservation or the taking down of the hydroelectric dams. So there's been a discussion in this region for multiple years. Can you talk about what your stance would be on that and just what would you have as a potential solution for that discussion?
So I believe we need those dams. So we rely on those so much. I definitely I'm definitely open and understand and respect the concerns of uh, the people that are on the land, the people that are opposing them. I believe we need to engage. We need to we need to plan for the long term. Engage with the people that are find different ideas on how we can make it better. But I will support the dams. I believe the dams it's our our lifeblood, in our district. Water, especially right now being in the drought that we are. I think that's the only reason our community is still being able to make it work is because of the dams. Obviously, we need to, you know, take care of our environment as well. And my sense is that I think we can do both. We can, take care of our environment, um, our land, our preserve our natural resources, for our kids. Um, that's very important. But again, we also need to make sure we take care of our economy, our agriculture community here. So I think it's going to take everyone to come together, different ideas, different ways of making things better, finding new technologies that can make us more efficient. So I think we need to keep improving. There's a lot of a lot of promise from solar energy that's coming up. But as we keep growing as a community, we're going to need every type of energy, solar, hydro, and then starting to look into others, like fusion plant that's coming on, the Thora Wenatchee and Wenatchee area. So I think we need to start, finding different solutions wherever we can find them.
Mm. Crime and drug use continues to be an issue in our community, whether it's the rise of fentanyl in areas like Tri-Cities and Yakima, juvenile crime. Those things continue to be topics that you see on the news daily. As an elected official, what more do you think that you can do to help out to try and, mitigate that issue?
So I think the first is we need to focus on the basics, focus on what's working already. I've gone to talk to some of the folks over at Comprehensive Health, some of the work that they're doing, actually finding relief for some of the people that are the victims of this. The people, that drug users that that have lost everything and are on the streets, finding ways to get them back on their feet. So we need to make sure we keep those, keep that support going. There's some cuts that are coming down the line for that, and I believe we need to find ways to not cut it, but actually support it. At the same time, we also need to again focus on the basics with our law enforcement. They're doing an awesome job already, but I think we need to make sure that we support them, keep the drugs off our streets in the first place. So I think there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done there. We need to do what we can, and again, I have been following Representative Newhouse's efforts on that arena, and I believe he's doing a good job. But again, I think it's going to take following it through, seeing it through, and making sure that we keep focusing on the needs of our community.
Obviously, there's a lot more things that you have policy platforms on. For people who do see this, how can they kind of follow, keep more information about your campaign, and do you just have any final thoughts at all?
Yeah, thank you. So please check out valenciaforcongress.com. That's my website. I am trying to be as active as I can on the social media. So Favian Valencia. And please follow along. My goal is to talk to as many people as possible. I am a grassroots movement, and again, so that means that I respond to you as voters. I think one of the things that are one of the things that's going to be one of my first priorities when elected is going to be to make our system more fair. And what I mean by that is that we need to get dark money out of politics. Right now, as it stands, if you wanted to donate to my campaign or any other campaign as an individual, you can only donate $7,000. But super PACs and even foreign entities can donate unlimited amounts of money. There's literally millions of dollars being put into our election system by people that we don't know who they are, what they represent. So we need to undo Citizens United. We need to have strict limits for politicians. I think it should be 12 years for senators, 8 years for representatives. I believe that we need to get more people involved. It should be a tour of duty when you serve as in our political system, so that we can get more people in with new ideas, a fresh perspective. I don't think that our founding fathers wanted this to be uh, for politics to be a career. We wanted it. It was always seen as a service that you provide to the community. And as an independent, the last thing I'll say is that I'm not going to answer to any super PAC. I'm not going to answer to any national political boss. I'll answer to you as a constituent, as a citizen here. And my goal is to be as accessible as possible. So please reach out. I'm happy to talk on the phone. I am going to be having a lot of events across the district, and so please follow along. And I hope that you'll vote for Fabian Valencia for Congress.
Thank you very much, sir. That's perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.